Good evening, everybody. Welcome to
Black Business Recommendation. Let's talk Livestream. And you know what? Today, we've got someone who is going to introduce us to a different way of approach for the businesses that you can actually gain some residual income. And it's great because it's been 2 years where businesses have not been bringing in the money. So,
it's really difficult.
It's really difficult. Exactly. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we can support the businesses out there that are doing the things for themselves and their community. So I would like to introduce you, or shall I say, we would like to introduce you to Judy Johnson of the Wellness Rack of London. Yeah, or we say uk.co.uk.
Yeah. Come on through. Come on. Come on through, my
darling. Everyone. Afternoon, everyone.
Hello, my darling. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. It's great, thank you.
It's nice to have you with us, and we're looking forward to learning about the products and who you are. And it was a very short time that I asked you to come on board, and you were in there like that. So it's really great because it shows that you have the kudos to actually get out there and say, look, this is what we are doing. Because not many people, some people shy away from being asked to come up front. So thank you very much for doing so.
I mean, throughout my career, it's been a question of you've got to put your head above the parapet every now and again in order to see what's going on out there, and you got to face the fear and do it anyway. Because
Wonderful.
The last 2 years, we've all been living under this fear mentality. It's about time we've got to get ourselves out of our homes, out into communities, out supporting and helping each other, because that's the way we're going to thrive. So it's important that when I saw the opportunity, I thought, no, the universe has conspired that I saw the post at the time that I saw the post, and it's one of those, you just got to.
It's those moments,
and it's great.
Well done.
Yeah, and it's great because obviously you're part of the group. You're a member of the group as well in your business, so it's great for everybody else to see. Yes, again, the wonderful businesses that we have amongst us, and perhaps you might be able to find somebody on there that would want to collaborate.
So I think let's start from the beginning. Welcome, Judy. How are you, and who are you?
Right, I'm Judy. I'm a proud Brummie, so I'm really looking forward to this year to sharing my beautiful city with the rest of the world, because we have the Commonwealth Games, and talk about the Commonwealth Games. That's probably where all my love of health and wellness started, because I was an athlete, so did athletics for a very long time, all through my teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and into my 50s. So I was fortunate to compete for a very long time, because I still enjoyed the training, the club, the camaraderie you have with going down to the track, developing yourself, learning new skills, etc. And then obviously as you get older, things change. You have to adjust your training and develop yourself in other ways. Being around young people who are thriving to be the best that they can be, and being able to nurture some of that potential as well, and being around positive, and being that role model particularly for Black youngsters in this country, in terms of yes, you can be good at sport, but particularly within our group, my coach was very keen that yes, you had to be good at, you're good at sport and talented, but your schoolwork has to be done.
Amen.
You've got to be there on time, punctuality, manners, and all those skills that sometimes we take for granted can be really developed through sport. And I think it's something that the country as a whole has lost, because it pains me to see how little physical activity actually happens in schools these days. If I think back to how often I didn't come straight home from school, that I was either doing netball, hockey, and all those other things. And that grew my love of health and well-being.
Okay, now I'm going to go back a little stage.
Yeah.
School.
Yes.
Where was that? And have you always been a proud Brummie, or have you
Yeah.
always lived in Birmingham? Yeah.
Yeah. I've always lived in Birmingham. Don't get me wrong, I do love to travel. I love going. I love traveling around the UK. The UK is probably one of the most beautiful places in the world, and we don't always appreciate it because we've got things on our doorstep that we can go and get out into nature quite easily, particularly around in Birmingham. You know, we've got hills that surround the city, so you can easily get out within 20 minutes to half an hour and go and have some nice walks in.
So that is you continuing on your fitness. But where I'm coming from is the school that you went to, attended, and the kind of education that you went through to bring us to the present. So what was the school that you attended?
I went to Ladywood Comprehensive School, which is an ordinary comprehensive school local to me. So I walked to school every day, walked across the park, picked up my first mate, Pat, and then we walked and picked up somebody else. And as we got to school, there's about 6 or 7 of us. So we check all our homework as we went along. No, that's not right. You don't do it like, it was that sort of thing. And it was the same way back home. No.
So not being driven to and brought home from.
No, hey, I can't even think that my dad would even offer to get us to school. I think the only time we ever got driven to school is if we were going out on a school trip. I mean, with suitcase and away. Exactly. But other than that, it was almost like it's a rite of passage when you go up to senior school, isn't it? That you've got that independence. Your parents aren't taking you to the school gate. And
exactly, right?
Yeah, so sometimes when I see what I see now around senior schools, particularly when you can't get past the school because there's so many cars, I'm thinking, what are they doing?
Exactly, right?
How are you growing any independence, responsibility, etc., etc., etc.? So, and again, I was really fortunate at school. I had really, really strong-minded teachers right across the board. I think that.
So what were your subjects?
I was fairly good across all subjects, so I was really fortunate there. So again, we had really good teachers across all of our subjects. Loved history. We had a fabulous history teacher who, when I think back, her dedication to us, because she would meet us at the Central Library, which is a big library in our Birmingham city centre, and show us how to research properly.
Wow.
I was at university level. So when I got to college and university, I'm thinking, and other people were struggling with how to go and do research, referencing, and all. That was a piece of pie to us because we were taught that.
Wow.
So
she equipped you really. Yeah.
And where did the love of athletics come in then?
Again, it was we had really great PE teachers. Again, but they were very disciplined. Yes, you were good at sport, but your academics, in order to be on those teams, you could not let your grades slide. They were unapologetic about that. You had to be good, but the two had to be in balance. But again, they encouraged you to do everything and do it well. I mean, one of my PE teachers, one of her mantras was, "Don't tell me you can't do anything until you've tried it 1,000 times and failed." So invariably, you would keep trying, and it's those sorts of lessons that you learn at school. You carry that through your life, through all aspects of your life, whether that's through work, whether it's, you're continuing in sport. You've got to keep trying. If you look at people like Lewis Hamilton and other people that perform at a high level, they didn't get to where they got the first time round. They had to fail a few times. They had to they had to find things difficult, and that's part of the journey. That's part of the learning that you don't always get it.
Working at that repetitive thing, isn't it? That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
So now I'm now thinking that school has moved on. You've moved on from school.
Yeah.
What jobs did you do? What work did you do? Or do you do?
Okay. I kind of messed up my A levels, but it wasn't. But it was just one of those things. I just got into the exam, and my brain just was not functioning. I didn't get the grades. I didn't get the grades that I wanted to go on to do what I wanted. But I had to go about things in a different way. I had to go through a different channel, a different route. So, ultimately, I still ended up with my master's. So I always say to young people,
well done.
If you don't get the grades you want, it's not the end of the world. There are always, if you're prepared to put in the work and maybe prepared to go and do things and learn things slightly differently, then you can still get to where you want to get to.
Yeah.
You just got to be clear about what your end goal is and what your end target is.
Yeah.
So what was the master's?
I did that in local government. So that's where I work currently. I've worked in local government for over 30 years now.
Okay.
So I started at the bottom and I've worked my way up.
Yeah, good.
So again, it's that repetitive, putting yourself out there, taking on all the roles and responsibilities that other people might not want to do, because that's where you learn things, shadowing really good managers.
Yeah. Have you found that journey actually quite eye-opening, being in local government and seeing where we could find maybe places that we can explore or take advantage of and really get into?
I'd say right now is as good a time as any to get yourself into local government, because it covers such a wide range of professions and areas to work in. So regardless of you're in, whatever your real passion is or interest is, for me, I worked in the private sector initially and I didn't like it. Their values just didn't chime with me. It was too cutthroat and it just didn't feel right. So when the opportunity came for me to go and work in the public sector and help others, that's where my passion, that's where I found my passion was helping others. Hence why I work outside this company as well, because it's about.
Would this be a great time then for health companies like yourself to really get into, say, I don't know, working with local governments in, putting out, how well they can incorporate health and fitness and so on, like what you do within companies or within their places?
Yeah, I think if we look back over the last 2 years and the pandemic and you look at what companies are having to do, they know their most important asset is their people. So they are investing, and I can only speak, I've seen it around, but I can speak obviously purely for the local authority that I work in, which is Birmingham City Council. We have got a raft of support areas and have had done for probably the last 10, 15 years, but accelerated more now because of the pandemic and the way that we're having to work. We've been working from home for nearly over 2 years now.
Yeah.
So you're not physically engaging, for example, with your line manager or other colleagues on a day-to-day basis. Everything's been done through Teams. So how do you ensure that your staff are well? And that's not just physically well, but obviously things like mental health wellness is really, really key for us. So it's about giving staff the opportunity and channels to be able to express themselves, to, we've got a variety of wellness groups. We've got outside counselling on tap for staff, etc., if they need that. And I've used that over, after a mum passed away, I was not in a good place. So I was able to tap into that, etc., and that helped me immensely. So, I think companies have realised and are investing as much as they can do, and as you say, collaborating with outside organisations to make sure they've got the right suite of offer for their best asset. And that's
I recognise the athlete within you, because the health and the wellness is absolutely standard. That's where you start from. But the question was that it's your work was working with local authority. At what point did you then move on to say that there is something else that I want to do in terms of the health and wellness? And
I think that has always been there. It's never gone. I think when you're an athlete and you're doing sport to a high level, you're not just doing the physical activity, you're having to look after your health. In order to go and do the level of training and physicality that I was doing, I had to understand nutritionally what I needed. So,
is that where you found, sorry, I apologize.
Yeah. So
is that where you found the wellness rack?
No, that came about through a different channel. So the Wellness Rack really has been born out of my my love, and it's essentially from the base of wanting to be healthy. In terms of, and then I was introduced to the company that's behind the Wellness Rack and its wonderful products. And when I joined, it wasn't just for myself and my husband. It ticked a lot of boxes. It's a family-run company. We don't have any shareholders. They support and develop individuals, not just to be business people, but to be good people who want to help others. And that's, it just ticked a lot of boxes. It chimed with us, and it's got really strong Christian values throughout all its policies and how it delivers the services and the products, etc. So it met our needs on that level. But then when we started using the products, wow, that's when I started to really feel the benefits. I didn't always have great, for example, the example I always use particularly is that I didn't always have great skin. All through my teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, I was still having problems with my skin until I started drinking the aloe and using the products. So, when I'm introducing the company to people, I use my own example. I use myself because that's all.
Okay, so may I ask you then
how it's helped my family members in supporting their health?
I think that's an important ingredient. So let's talk about how getting to know the product and how it helps your family members, because then I want to talk about how does it relate to others wanting to buy into the product and how that relates to their businesses. So there's a couple of questions in that, but the first one is you recognizing there was something within that and how you spread the word amongst the family.
Yeah. And that's what the company encourages. First of all, we've all been to really great restaurants, or you've gone to a show and you come back and you're buzzing. You've had a great meal. What do? You tell all your friends, you recommend, and that's what you're encouraged to do. So by using the product yourself, gaining those benefits, you understand the product. Yes, you can read all the literature, you can go on all the training, but it's not until you're using the products yourself and experiencing the benefits of those, whether that's you've got better skin, or your skin is starting to calm down and balance out, etc. Whether it's your digestive system is working much more better, and then when your digestive system is working well and it is in balance, you're able to absorb more of the nutrients from your food. And that's a key thing for obviously individuals, whether you're a sports person or not. Just for general wellness, your digestive system is key to everything else. Your hair, your nails, everything. If you've not you're not absorbing the right amount of nutrients, your hair's not
going to work. Yes.
Your hair's not going to work. You could spend thousands of pounds on going to the hairdressers, having the best products, getting treatments, etc. But if nutritionally you're deficient, guess where it shows first of all? Your hair, because it's on the extremity.
That's really good to know.
So
that is really important.
Your body's really clever, because when you take in your nutrients, it'll feed the most vital organs first of all. So your heart, your lungs, etc. So things like your skin, not that important in the grand scheme of things. Your hair, so when you're nutritionally deficient, that's where it shows first. So when people have got hair loss and their nails are not growing, or they've got problems with their skin, you've got to look specifically what's happening with your nutrition, what's happening with your hydration. To make sure that you fix those things first. You should see the changes to your hair, your nails, your skin.
Are those the only products that you actually promote and sell?
No, we've got in the product range there's over 300 products in the range. So we have everything from health drinks, and we have absolutely fabulous skincare, which has been winning awards for the last probably 4 or 5 years. We have personal care. We have nutritional products, supplements. So sports nutrition, we've become very high in there, and weight management. But probably one of the key areas that I really enjoy talking to people about, and sometimes, you know, you might be talking to an individual, and we're a nation of pet lovers. So although we don't test on animals, a lot of our products can be used on animals. So again, that's another
that's another realm, isn't it?
To develop your business too. So, you know, somebody who's got a horse, that horse is a lot of money in terms of investment. You can't afford for that horse to be ill. Your vet bills are going to be through the roof. So horses have a lot of skin. So if they have a skin problem, they're going to be using a lot of product. If they've got a problem with their digestion, they're going to be drinking a bottle of gel at a time. So, you know, same with dogs, etc. You know, our products are used widely within the equestrian industry, and a lot of vets are now utilizing our products because they've got natural ingredients. Aloe is
it's totally for everybody in the whole realm of everything.
I want to
as well as
I think what I want to do is sort of hone into certain areas because as we spoke of earlier, as a business owner who owns a hair salon per se, right? What is it that your business does that can support business owner?
Okay. The wellness and rack has been designed as a business to business concept. Okay. As we were talking earlier, obviously the last 2 years has been particularly difficult for people like hairdressers and other people who do direct person-to-person services, as I would describe them as. So, you know, and also they've got the same 24 hours as we have. They probably can only do so many. The size of their salon, the number of stylists that they have, they can only have so many clients go through that salon in a week. But by having a wellness rack within the business, they're getting the rack to do some work for them. So when their clients are sitting and waiting in the reception, or they're sitting under a dryer, etc., they could be offering them a sample of a product, or they could get encouraging their client to have a look at the range of products that's on display in the rack. So again,
that's really good.
Once they've tried the products, you know, particularly the skincare products, once you've got those products on your skin, you know, you want to give that a go, you know. So it enables the salon to open another income stream, another channel of income. So they're not detracting from what they're doing. You know, people come into a salon because they want to get their hair done. But at the same time, when you're talking to your hairdresser, and the hairdressers will tell you, when you're in that seat, you're divulging information. You might be saying to your hairdresser that, I haven't been very well over the last few weeks. I've got this going on, that going on. That gives you the opportunity to say, well, actually, I might have a product that can help you with that. And then you simply recommending the product, you know, because you will, you know, again, the salons will support them, because this is not something where we'll just throw the rack in there and walk away. That's not how we're looking to operate and collaborate with.
It's that whole support system, isn't it?
It's that whole support system. So they get direct support from myself, but behind the scenes, we've got a whole raft of either online training or in-person training, so they can get all the knowledge and information they need about the product, so they can confidently explain the products to customers. They can share their own experience of using the products, because again, if you're going to recommend something, you've got to be using it yourself.
Of course. And that also helps as well, because that is the place, to be honest. I mean, when you go to the, you know, as a woman, when you go to the hairdressers, as you say, we're in there for a few hours. So as much as you don't want to be, but once you're there, you know, you'll be talking, and you'll be talking about various things and so on. So if you're amongst other people and you have a product that's recommended, that is a really good thing. So if it gives us another stream to, you know, a salon, that's perhaps something that our members who have salons could perhaps be looking at. Your notepad and pen, everybody. Your notepad and pen. Get in contact with Judy.
Gyms,
that is something that
PT instructors, gyms, PT instructors, physios, other therapists. You have people coming in and they're sitting and waiting for a while. You could have it in your treatment room where you've got samples. You know, you might be able to then recommend, once they've had their treatment, there's a couple of products that you might need to, you know, instead of sending them down to Boots or to that other place, you know, you've got your own product to be you're supplying to your client, because you get online shop.
Yeah.
Can you help me understand it? I now know that there are products there.
Yeah.
How do I, as the business, how do I then get in touch with you to understand? Is there, let's just say, for instance, where I'm listening to it now, I'm seeing clients sitting there and there's not much happening, but now there's a rack there with the products on there. Okay. Now you don't have a product, you don't have a rack with 300 products on.
No.
What you have is a small set of samples. Yeah. But is there a paper or something that, you know, a brochure that you can actually go through what they're putting there to have a look at?
Yeah, we've tried to make this, because what we don't want to do is detract from that business. Their prime concern is their client when they come through the door, etc. So we've tried to make this all as simple and painless as possible. So the rack is, you'll get the rack that, and we align the products to your whatever your business is, etc. Okay. So again, when you sign up, you would get an online shop. So again, very easy for your clients and customers to order through a QR code. So again, we're all used to scanning our QR codes with our phones these days, and it takes you directly to your shop. So not wandering off to go on to anybody else's shop. It's your shop, and they shop directly with you. We've got brochures that the salons can have. So again, as you said, Hugh, people can be sat there. Oh, I like the look of that. It gives them the full description and the benefits of each of the products in there. And if they've got a sample as well, happy days. Because we're all experiential learn. You know, we like to experience things, don't we? You know, we like to put things on our hands and see how it feels, see what it smells like, etc. You know, so people can experience it right there and then, you know, it's more like they'll go home, or while they're there, even sitting under the dryer, they can be ordering.
Exactly, right? So now that's a really good thing that you said, and I think that's really important, which is you're not detracting from, you know, the salon's business. No. You know what I mean? It's a, you know, it's an aid.
Yeah, it's about adding value. You know, how can you distinguish yourself from other hairdressers on the high street or in the vicinity, etc.? You know, you want to have something that's different. You know, when people walk through the door, you're adding value to yourself.
May I ask about the practicality of this, because I like what I'm hearing. For the business, is there a set fee to start off with, or you know, what is, you know?
There are a couple of options. Obviously, you know, everybody's got to be able to work within their budgets. But again, you know, we're not asking people to hold loads of stock. Okay. That's a key thing. So you're not tying up your resources, you know. So when you join, you can join there's a couple of options. So at the very worst, it's less than £200. So, but with that, you get over £300 worth of products. So then you then select which of those items you want to put out on your rack. Okay, and that gives you 30% profit margin. Now, you know, that's
and you don't have to keep any products, and you don't have to keep any stock.
No. Okay. Because
that's really good.
The speed at which their company turns around orders, you probably wouldn't need to keep any stock. You might get to the stage where you know your client group, you know which are the popular items. You think, right, I want to keep a couple of tubes of those or a couple of bottles of those, because when somebody comes in, I can just sell that to them. You'll probably get to that. You'll probably get to the stage, but there's no need to keep and tie up your income and space and all the headaches that, you know, things have out, you know, sell by dates. You don't want to be. I know that salons, etc., they don't want to be getting into that, and that's why the company, as soon as you sign, you get your online shop, which is accessible from anywhere in the world.
Good.
You know, from 160.
As it should be. Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, and it's open 24/7. You know, we all know, you go to the salon, you come away and you're thinking, oh, I forgot to get that. Oh, I haven't. And you might go and do it the following day. or you might do it when you get home in the evening. But your store is open 24/7. But your salon can't be open 24/7.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so
no, that's really good. So my question would be, I'm thinking as I'm not a salon owner, don't know anything about salons, but they're brilliant, do my hair very well. But if they tried for, I don't know, 2 months, and they found actually, I'm not too sure still, what are the coming out clauses or anything like that?
There's no coming out clauses.
Good.
There's no coming out clauses. You know, it's like it's a very simple company to work with.
Right.
You know, it's about moving products. If you decide that you don't want to do it anymore, that's fine. You know, there's nobody's going to come running after you in 6 months' time and says, "Oh, you haven't done this," and waving their finger or anything like that. You know,
no, that's good to know, because I think for business, the last thing that they want is more, things
bills
coming on board or
coming,
payments or
There's no, you're not asked to make any recurring payments or anything. We try and keep this as simple as, and you know, whether you're a business owner or not, or you're joining in your own right, it's the same setup. It's the same setup.
Right.
The way that
do you have
business to business is that we're looking at things differently. How can we support and add value to your business? That is what businesses are getting at. If they're adding value to what they're already doing, they're distinguishing themselves from other people.
So in terms of the product, what are their labels? What's a label? You know.
Yep. So, for example, our drinks, they come in a 1 litre Tetra Pak, easily accessible to people. So we've got 4 flavors. So, you know, it'll suit somebody. Our new mango flavor, I can't sell enough of them, sort of thing. You know, it's flying out the door, sort of thing. So even people who don't like the taste of mango, because we all know of aloe, we all know that aloe has its own peculiar taste. Yeah, exactly. So you either like it or you don't like it. I mean, when I'm going to be perfectly honest, when I first drank it, I just thought, oh my goodness, this is supposed to be good for me. But it's like all of these things, you have to sort of switch your brain and say, the benefits. I'm drinking this because of the benefits. I'm drinking, and you got to program yourself to say, I'm drinking this because of the benefits. Right, and
but we all know it's good. Exactly.
We've teamed it up with other naturally antioxidants. So we've got our apple and cranberry, which are berry nectar. We've got a peach one, and as I said, we've got our mango.
Good.
So, but our core ingredient that we use in most of our products, that's our drinks and our topical, is aloe, because of the benefits. You know, so in terms of the skin products, it's aloe is the first ingredient on majority of the products, and then we use other natural ingredients. So there's no steroids or anything nasty in there. So people with very sensitive skin can enjoy the product.
Still use that as well.
So I was being rude for a moment because I was looking at the wellness rack and the amount of things that they're on there. Now, for me, on a personal note, there's stuff for beards. So when did that one come up?
There's something for it. I always say we've got something from the cradle to the grave. So, for example, where are we? Let me get this right, because we're a 5-generation family, so I have to make sure I get the genealogy right. So, like one of my great nephews, he's pretty much allergic to just about everything. So, and he's got to be really careful about what he eats, what he touches, etc. So much so that he has to have a pen. So if he goes anywhere and he gets into a short situation, he doesn't know how to. But I know that he can come to my home and he uses the products himself. He's now into his teenage years. Can't believe he's a teenager already. So, you know, when they get into that age, they're more conscious about their grooming and other things. So I know he loves using the body wash. You know, he loves using the lip balm, etc. I know he can have use of the products and it won't be a problem. He can come to my house, stay over. He doesn't have to bring all of his normal stuff with him.
You've got it all
now, and so now he's transitioning over to the products. So, you know, I know on a personal level, I can trust the products, you know, and I can actually recommend the product and get other people who've got, you know, children or family members with similar situations to, you know, to try the product. Try the product.
So can I ask, as obviously you do the you know, the various products and so forth, do you offer anything else, you know, like massages or anything like that? So, or are you just more product based?
It's more product based, hence why wanting to collaborate with people who do those services. You know, those people who have those qualifications have trained for a long time. Those are dedicated people who've, you know, regardless of whether you're a hairdresser or whatever, you've done some years of training and development, and you continue to you know, it's not something that you learn today and you don't learn it, because things are developing, you know, different ways of working are developing, you know, so it's constantly moving. So this is a way of collaborating with those businesses to help them, you know, survive and grow, and give them a second or a third income stream that if we ever get back into the, you know, the realms that we were in before in the first lockdown, when everything just ground to a halt, this is still there for you. You still have your customers that they can't come into the salon, but you could still be selling and retailing your products to them.
Your products to them in varying ways. So that stream continues.
So it's a bit of a safety net could be a safety net for some people, you know. And the other probably key thing for me to state is that all of our products come with a 60-day money back guarantee, underwritten by the company. So, for example, if somebody tries a product and they, for whatever reason they don't like it, even if they've emptied the tube, as long as they keep their receipt, give you back the empty.
That's it. There's no obligation there.
You shouldn't have said that.
The company sends you the product back, so you've not lost any. You've not lost anything. I've never had anything come back. The only thing I've had come back was, I think, in transit. It got broken in transit.
So it's not even a thing. It was just broken in transit.
In transit. So obviously, you just swap it. Swap it.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask then. So you, for companies, this is really good. I'm thinking it's a really good thing to be a part of. But also for anyone that's thinking, do you know what, my son or my daughter or whoever, I know somebody that is very sensitive. Is that an individual thing as well?
Individuals can still purchase directly from. So the approach that I'm describing is the business to business end, but also that we've got a business to customer end. So you're able to, you know, if you wanted to join as an individual, you've got multiple income streams that you can generate an income from. So first and foremost, you become your best customer. You know, everything that.
So how do you do that? How do you do that?
Yes. How do you do that? So obviously, if somebody was interested in having a look at the business, I would sit down with them, go through a short presentation, you know, find out what is it they want from a business. Because ultimately, the way that we work is not for everybody, you know. So, you know, you've got to be disciplined. You've got to be, you know, consistent with everything, with your activities, etc. Whether that's, you know, sharing the products with individuals, talking to individuals about the business opportunity. That is a day in, day out. Every day you've got to be doing that consistently. You know, you've got to be, you know, present in what you're doing. You know, as I said, you've got to become your best customer. You've got to be using the products, because that's where your understanding and your love and your passion grows about the products. Because if you're not going to use them, you can't really go out and recommend a product to somebody. You know,
so this is an opportunity for businesses and
individuals, and individuals themselves, So
that's really good.
So that is interesting, because that gives people the platform for them to say, okay, then let me have a look at the product, get in touch with you, and then get to know the product. Because you may not be in business, but you may want to start your own business on your own to start looking at how to utilize what you've put before them, because a lot of people don't understand that.
And get on that track, isn't it?
No. And you know, if we look at the the size and the growth of the look good, feel good sector is set to grow bifold in the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
And the
Because everybody's changing.
pandemic has probably accelerated that growth.
Yeah.
People are realize now you had 2 years, we've been sat at home, we've sort of like looked at what our lives are really about, what's important and what's most important, and it comes out in every single survey, your health comes first, because without you can have all the money in the world, but if you've got your health is poor, you can't enjoy life.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Regardless of how much money you may or may not have, people are looking at ways in which they can become more healthy, whether that's being outdoors more, walking, etc. But we've got products that can support all of those things. And as I said earlier, from the cradle to the grave, we get things.
May I just ask?
Yeah. We get youngsters eating and eating well, and getting them into that mindset that being out and about, being regularly doing exercise, etc., being mindful.
That is the way to go.
When I talk to colleagues and friends that I grew up with, we were never indoors. Our local park was where our parents would come and look for us. They weren't looking for us anywhere else, but they knew we were in the park. We walked to school. We all did different variety of sports or other activities that took us out and about, etc. So,
but I think it's starting to show in a different way now. So I think it's it might be, what do they call it, 1.0 in terms of that health aspect of it as well. Do you know what I mean? So everyone is kind of finding how they can keep their health going, whether that be running, jogging, finding the correct products that's going to help enhance how they look and feel. So
and what we encourage is it's not just about the products. It's about that holistic approach in terms of healthy eating.
And that's what I want to ask you, because one of the things was that while there are lots of the products there, the other elements are information for people so that they know what are the healthy products and also what are the healthy areas in their lives that they need to have a look at. Because you've got many things there, but one of the things I was looking at was there was like supplemental food, the sugars and so on and so on. I've just stopped having sugar for the first time in life. So I've had 2 cups of coffee without sugar. Trust me.
Key thing for all of our products, we don't add any sugar in anything. So it's the thing I have to warn people about, the drinks particularly. No added sugar. So the aloe comes with no added sugar, no preservatives, nothing's added to it. So we use an aseptic process. So it's hand filleted in the field, it's taken into the plant, ultra heat treated, and it goes straight in the bottle. And then obviously the other ingredients get added in there for each of the varieties that we've got in there.
So it's just ingredients and nothing else in there.
And are they sourced? And are they sourced from this country?
Right. It's an American company. Okay. It's not. We couldn't not grow. We'd have to grow all of the aloe under in the polytunnels or something like that. So it wouldn't be ethical or anything. So we grow in Mexico, Dominican Republic, and in Texas, Texas. So it's going to be in warm climate because that's the nature of the plant. Okay, but the company's been growing environmentally from day one. So, for example, obviously when we hand and fillet the aloe, and we only use the inner gel from the leaf, it has to be washed. So all of that water that we use in washing goes straight back out to irrigate the field. So we try to do things as environmentally as possible. We don't use any, as I said, we don't use any pesticide or insecticide. So we use things like goats to do all the weeding, etc. And obviously while the goats are walking around the fields, what are they doing? They're
they're doing what they do.
Fertilizing the soil.
Natural fertilizer. So again, they try to do things as naturally and environmentally as well as possible. As well as being the largest grower of aloe in the world, we're also the largest beekeeper. So we have a wonderful range of bee products. So our
that
honey,
seems to be a big thing now. Yeah, but bees, honeybees, people being beekeepers, and honey
that's
being
right.
the most.
So we've got a great range of bee products. So we've got our own honey, bee propolis, bee pollen, and royal jelly. So again, all our hives are way up in the mountains, so they're not in polluted areas, etc. So the honey, for example, that is absolutely stunning. I use it every Christmas to glaze my ham. And it comes out absolutely stunning. So it's great to cook with as well. So if you're barbecuing, etc. So again,
you can always use it for that
so
as well.
it's my go-to if I get a cold or anything. So I just do some honey and lemon and, and a few other supplements. So I might put the bee pollen in there, and within a couple of days, I'm back to normal sort of thing. So, but you get a lot of training and developments from the company as well. We've got, obviously, during lockdown, everything went online. So we've got lots of short videos, webinars, etc., where you can learn about the products and obviously the USPs, etc. So you can.
Well, that's really good to know, because a lot of people. A lot of people are not too sure, even with the honey, the different benefits of, of what honey can do for the skin. But it's really good to know that, if people were coming on board, they'll be able to see that side and learn a little bit more as to what each of those ingredients and the benefits for them, and how they can use them in their daily life, which is really good.
Judy, can I then ask you, how do people get in touch with you?
Very simple, really. If you go to the website, if you go to the website, the Wellness Rack, you'll find me listed in there with all my contact details. If you just fill out a form, that will come straight through to me. So again, we've tried to make getting in contact with us as simple as possible, because that's what we do. Business people are very busy. They have limited time. So we've tried to make the whole process as seamless and easy as possible. Making sure that you can get the support that you need, that we're on, you can get through to us either by phone, etc., and ask those, vital questions. You might have a client that's come into the salon and asking you a question. You don't need to know all of the answers, because I certainly don't. But what we have got, and we're very fortunate in the UK, we've got what we call our advisory board. So we've got professionals. So, for example, if somebody asks me a question about animals, I don't even bother to try to answer it, because before I answer it,
not your area.
No, it's not my area. It's not my area of expertise. So rather than fluff it or trying to sound clever, I take a note of the question and I go to our advisory board member, who is a vet, who has been in the business for over 25 years. And guess what? He is the expert on our products and how they should be used with animals. So I ask him the question and get the correct answer for my customer and client.
Wow.
And that's
really good to know.
So we've got a vet, we've got a skincare specialist. So again, around the skincare, again, if I'm not sure about, somebody's asking me something, if it's not come up in training or whatever, before I answer that question, it says, just bear with me. Let me go and just double check. I go and speak to Louise and I'll come back to them with the correct advice. Then we've got a nutritionist, etc. as also. So you've always got myself, other people within as I said earlier, I describe it as the family, but also obviously our advisory board members, who are the experts.
That on hand.
That are on hand, absolutely. But they provide all the training, whether that's a short 5, 10, 15 minutes per product training that you can tap into. So again, if you're not sure about something, you can just go to the website once you've joined, and you've got a whole list of training.
And is that for business owners as well? So any business owner that's thinking, you know what, this sounds like a really good idea.
They'll be able to tap into that training. We're starting to get back to face-to-face trainings as well. So hopefully over the coming months and years, we'll get back to what we were doing before, where we were,
learning all the benefits of aloe. And what aloe can do for you. I mean, we take it for granted, I suppose, and think everybody knows about with that wonderful plant. But most of us don't, you know.
No, I mean,
it's good in a drink, you know, it's good for bites, but you may not know necessarily much more than that. So
I'm very much interested in the business as a personal thing for myself.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I wanted to say, okay, I want to go ahead and start connecting with you and the business as such.
Yeah.
I would like to do that. What is it? I know what you've stated before, as in the process to go through. But would you, as the business, would we be able to have samples of the things that we're actually using?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's where we can actually show people exactly what's happening, where things are. Because I'm thinking of a couple of people who this business
would be really
very useful for them.
Happy to talk to anybody. I know myself personally, when I was introduced to the business, there was no hard sell. We were asked to go along to a presentation. We listened. Any questions that we didn't have answered on the day, I could go back, etc. And that's how I deliver the services and the opportunity to other people. There's no obligation. If you've sat down with me for 20 minutes, half an hour, there's no I'm not going to be looking to get a signature straight away or anything like that. You need to go away and do your own due diligence, do your research, find out, you know, the depths of this company. What are they doing? What have they been doing, etc. That's what I would expect from either a business or
a franchise. So do you franchise, Judy? Is it? You've got your own business underneath it.
It's not classed as a franchise, because I'm trying to think.
Oh, okay.
When I last researched franchises, I think the smallest input that you would need is something like £125,000 to have a franchise. Okay. So to join the company, like, it's £199.75, and as I said, you get £300 worth of product, plus your business pack in terms of your literature, so your brochures, etc., and all the manual and your policy documents, etc. It's all there, and you get your online web store. You know, you know yourself, if you sat and had to pay somebody and design a web store that could deliver in 160 countries, that did all your shipping for you, so you know it's working for you 24 hours a day, that's going to cost you a pretty penny. That's all included in when you join up, and it's available within 24 hours.
So that is how people can come in. So like yourself, it is a way for them to make, you know, an extra income, and for businesses to have this working alongside.
And right now, don't we all need a little bit of extra income? Because
tell me about it. The way things are going right now.
What is all around.
I think this would be a welcome thing. But I didn't think. I mean, I'm showing my age now. You know, I lived through the late 60s, 70s, and 80s, when I remember when the interest rate went up to 15%.
Oh, yes.
And my mum's mantra was that mortgage has to be paid. So we were, you know, tasked with going and finding whatever jobs and we sell things from our store, etc. You know, we were growing lettuces in the garden with an Irish family across the road. We had this competition going on a weekly basis as who could sell the most lettuces. It was everything. Everybody had to contribute. You know, and
everybody, and this is the new way to contribute to your family.
And we're back here again. We are back here again, and I think now with these sorts of opportunities available, with this level of support that people have, people are going to be more open to look at it. It's not, as I said earlier, it's not going to be for everybody, but for those people who get on board, are prepared to roll their sleeves up and get their heads down, it could make the difference between them keeping a roof over their head.
It's a business already made.
Their family, and pay the bills. So it is.
Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, this is you know, an idea. I hope you've been scribbling down and want to get in contact with Judy. You know, we're looking at all ways that's going to support and help
our growth,
and our growth along the way. All right.
And you have been listening to Judy Johnson speaking about the wellness rack. Now, you know, when you listen to that name, you get to put it on together, a rack of wellness products within, and you have a service that's already made. So whether you are a business or you are a single person individual wanting to start your own business, Judy is the one to speak to. And Judy, we really want to thank you very much for joining us today, because we're going to close on the hour. But for the moment, I would say to you, thank you so much.
It has been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure. The information coming your way has really been great for us. And I hope that everyone takes that on board. And you can watch this program again, because we will share it on the YouTube. So it's always there for anyone to watch. So, Judy, thank you so much.
No, thank you for the opportunity. It's been really, really, really great. So it's about getting the information out there, because, you know,
absolutely,
if people need it. Okay,
thank you.
Thank
you. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. All right.
Thank you.
Then. Have a blessed evening. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
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 Oh, wow, everybody.
Well, there you go.
What a lovely lady.
Judy is actually showing you that you can have a business that you can start for yourself as an individual, or if you have a business, you can add on to that business. And I think it'd be preferable that you give Judy a call and find out, you know, what areas, businesses that she can actually supply you with the wellness rack, because it's out there for you. It's an addition to your business, and it's money coming in.
Exactly.
And with 300 products, I mean, I was looking on the phone while we were speaking just briefly, and there was just too many to go through.
And obviously, as you know, your own customers and your clients, you can see what you know, which
and
ones
you can
will
tailor
do well.
that to your business. So that wellness rack can be tailored to your business.
Yeah, exactly.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
so listen, that's the end of tonight's one. Another Monday night. I hope that you all have a blessed week.
Be safe,
productive
and be well.
Okay.
Be productive.
Take care now.
Take care.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.